This is a collected tree, um, Port Jackson fig, collected many years ago. Um, the front of the tree here has lost its cambium, and I've been watering it, and it's producing these aerial roots. Hopefully, it'll heal over that scar eventually, but the roots are starting to stick up out of the soil. This was recently repotted, probably the early months of summer, and I think it enjoys the new soil. Yeah, I just saw something wiggling under the soil, and it turned out to be an earthworm right there. Don't know how the worms got in there. Might have something to do with the chicken manure mixture that I've done. Put a little bit on top. Anyway, easily distracted. Um, this tree has been collected. I don't know if you can see the big scar in the back there. That's the big scar where it was cut. It started healing, not completely. It's got a long way to go. The tree's out of shape. It's thickening up in areas, and the main apex, the main leader, is being dominated by a lower branch for some reason, and I need to reduce the growth on it and get the growth back into the original leader. So this is really strong. This has got dieback, but it's still alive here. But this is growing really, really strong. So I don't know what's happened with this guy here. I just don't know. But this is just grown tenfold. I'm going to give it a bit of a chop back, and I'll just start getting into it. So I'm going to just get rid of some of these tips on the front. They're not supposed to be there. They're going. This is looking a little bit leggy. Maybe I might do a hard cut back on this guy because I want it to sort of produce new tips before winter. In here I've got that. In there I've got that. Some of my other trees have responded to being cut back. Today is stinking hot. This is quite a solid branch. Might take him back to this tip in here. I might have to wire that in. I really want this growth to come good there. This one's out of order big time up in here. What to do with it? I really have to knock him back. Definitely here. There's a tip there. All right. I'm hoping it can back bud back down lower, or I lose that branch altogether because it's already got a really rapid angle. I might just lose that branch. Anyway, let's have a look at this one here. It's right in close, very tight. That's growing quite high. I'm going to come in tight. Maybe I'll just shorten him up, leaving one leaf on once again. Come around this side. This side's looking a bit out of sorts. So some of this stuff's just getting big leaves. Right there. So probably keep this one, lose this one because it's competing with this apex, and it's thickening up a great deal. And I have a back branch around there. So there's a lot going on in one area. So big decision, but it's happening. There, gone. So that's how I deal with competing branches. Alright, so getting my taper up here. This is growing forward. This one up here. So I want to try and get this to take off. I do have a tip back in here. Maybe I shorten him up a bit more. Like that. Maybe I can roll him over. I am going quite hard on this tree to get into him. There we go. I'm just being pretty brutal. Maybe I've just let it grow and it's just out of order. It's my own doing. I know that tip looks alive, so it'll push all the growth into that tip and it'll grow that way. This is coming up straight. It's not what I want. Get in there. All right, that's better. This is coming out quite far. Maybe I'll just shorten it. This is going to be a hard cutback. I can see. And I'm not mucking around with this thing now. It's a bit of a knob. I might spin him around the other way. But see, I've got these nice big runners coming out and they're very thick, very heavy. So maybe I'm definitely doing some changes here. So this might not have any leaves left on it by the time I'm finished. I don't want this upward growing stuff here. There we go. Oh, that's upward growing. There's a little tip in here. I've got quite a lot of tips in this area. This is quite a strong branch. I'll probably wire him down. This is very dominating. I'll just shorten him. So I'm just looking back inside, checking for dieback. While I'm here, I might as well eliminate it. I've got one in here. That's gone. Do I keep that? No, I'll get rid of it. So I've got a big one here. I'll just take him out. There's one in here. I wonder if I can get him from this side. You can actually see him. Right in the fork. It's a hard one to get at with this tool. Down here. Down here. A bit low. This thing's getting pillaged. Upward growing, don't want. I'll leave this guy on. He's contributing to the healing of this scar. This one down here, Gonski's. Die back here. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to get this guy hiding in there. It's about as close as I'll get to it. Okay, this branch growing over the top. Just knock it back. I left the leaf on it. This is another cut in here. As you can see, I've had some dieback. I've got congestion right here. I've got 3. Don't know if you can see that from where you're looking. That I really want to get in there. Taking out that one. Growth on that. Get rid of that. Right. So with my selection, I've cut off older branches that aren't doing that great. I've got dieback here. This looks like it needs to be chopped out pretty. Oh yeah. So now I've got a big nugget right here. All dead wood. All dieback. Jesus, that's dry as. In this area, you know what? I'm gonna knock it right back to 1 leaf on, so it's easy to see in. That one. So I've got this quite heavy branch that was left on from when it was collected. I could lose that completely and retrain because it just doesn't look uniform with the way that the rest of it's growing. This is quite a heavy unit itself, and this one was one of the original cuts. In here, hang on, I'm going to get rid of this. This is choking it up a little bit. Just get in here. Alright, might be able to see a bit clearer. That was one of the original cuts, just about healed. That's a number of years. I think this needs to be fixed up. It's a problem when you got so much dieback, dead wood. This is well overdue. I've just left it in the collection. It's just growing. It hasn't grown well. I did a repot and it's thrown out lots of roots this summer. It's very humid, so it tells me it's responding. There we go. Just tidying up some of my butchering. I'm thinking that branch should come off, hey? This guy. It's got a downward sort of pointing direction. I don't like this branch either that grows down and out. Got a new tip underneath. Maybe I could leave that on and probably eliminate this later. But this needs to be cut back in on a bit of an angle so I get a better healing on it. You can actually see when the original cut was made how much it's actually grown. Like, you can see the new fresh green white cambion. It's actually put on a little bit of growth. Not great, but this needs to be attended to. I just don't like it at all. It's coming out a bad spot. That's dieback. This is wanting to wrap around forward. I feel like losing it completely. Maybe I'll do that. I feel as though it needs it. Sorry, my eyes are wandering all over the joint. I'm looking at where I should be cutting. This here doesn't look right from the front. This has got a tip on it. I'll keep this. That can be trained. This can be trained out here. I'm going to get rid of this congestion where they're all growing out of one bloody spot. Sorry, tree. It's just turning into a bloody knot here. Big knot. I think I've got to chew into this. Keep that. I might get rid of him. He's a bit close in there. So I could even take this off in here. It comes out more horizontal. Yeah. It's got a big dominant stump there. It's in a good spot, but I don't like the shape of it. The way it's growing. That shouldn't be growing inwards. Maybe what I do, there is a tip down here. Maybe take that off, see where she backbuds out. I've got a couple of tips growing inwards, so just peel them off. So they're not an option. The tree is not going to choose those. Just put an angle on that cut. So I still have an option of getting some stuff to grow out here. One day the scar will heal over. Got some tips down underneath here. I just pull them out. It's good that it's back budding down low, but not where I want it. Still looking back at this, maybe I'll cut back to there because it's very long and leggy, and this tip looks pretty strong. Alright, it's going to be a big cut. Let's hope I've got the forearms to pull through. Oh, that little tip off there. Right, that should heal over. I really have to do something about this big knobbly bit. Maybe I'll shorten this down a little bit. Maybe I'll get rid of that big ridiculous leaf. Got a good tip here that I could train off. These upward ones, I'll probably just annihilate them later once back budding occurs. That's okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to get in with a nibbler and just nibble that out right where that leaf is. Just for the sake of it. There you go, you can probably see from there. I'm about to get in on this thing. I've actually taken a bit of foliage off it. I didn't think it had a lot on it. It was out of control, but so I want to get back to the living tissue. Because otherwise I'm just got this big, hideous dead wood. I was sitting down on a chair. Got rid of it. Oh, big job. I think that's where I've got to be. Right up in here. Oh yeah. You see where I've chopped in very deep here. That's all new growth. It's like coming out big time there. Making a mess. Alright, I think I found the living tissue. It's right where that white stuff is. You have to sort of come back into this and try and get that. It's a really shitty branch. I'm starting to think about losing it altogether. Here we go, we're getting into it now. Oh, that's chewed it out a bit. As for looks, it's got some ugly stuff going on out the back here. So if this wasn't here, I could probably concave that down a little bit deeper, because from the viewer's angle, it'll give the appearance of a fork, where at the moment it just looks like a big stump. So I'm just going to chew right through. This thing keeps spinning, run away from me. Need another set of hands. Or a foot. That did nothing. Okay. Come on. Bloody hell, muff this up. Alright. Getting the groove in. Feels bloody awkward. How's that looking from the front? Can you actually see it? No, you really can't. So I really shouldn't be too worried about it. Hold still. Well, that's got rid of that bit of dieback. Some arrowroots here. Whether or not they'll take when they hit the soil. I think that's pretty much done. Pardon me. I don't think there's much more left I can do with this thing. Giving that a bit of a, maybe give that a bit more of a, how's it going? I'm hoping that this returns to full strength. One of the cuts I made was here, and this grew forward, and there was a cut there, and that was my leader, but for some reason this guy was outperforming. So maybe I'd give this a bit of a nibble out as well. Just chew it out. Just check where the new bark is. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go too excessive on this. Just sort of cut it back a little bit. Yeah, I think that's okay. Big cut there, big cut there. When you look back at it and you see all the scarring, you go, yep, she's been attacked. Stinking hot day today in Sydney. I think it got up to 37 degrees. It's 7 or 8 o'clock at night now. I'm standing here sweating. What do we got? It's 10 past 8 at night. And we're currently at 29 degrees apparently. Today's top 37, sorry. Tomorrow's 37, the next day 37, then down to 23, 25, back to 30, 32. The weather is all over the shop, I tell you. Alright, so that's all I'm going to do for now. I guess every time I do some cutting, I'm fixing up errors. And those errors might be due to a lack of training, not wiring branches into place. There's some potential in it. I hope this scar heals over. Next repot, I'll probably pull him up a bit higher to have a look at his roots. Yeah, that's about the size of it for this one. I don't know if I'm going to rip into another tree. I'll assess that in a minute. But anyway, there's a Port Jackson fig. Collected tree, more than 10 years old, hasn't performed. Another neglected specimen that I have. But yeah, hope you like it. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't think the tree enjoyed it, but have fun, guys. Take care.